Very much. You're right, Dan.
Yes, yeah.
What do you think? That was snow on that bus? Or
That's exactly what I was looking at. Yes, but
I think it's just a white top to the bus.
It is. Excellent.
Also, we were both transfixed momentarily.
Sorry, yes, I was just staring there.
There are concerns about the decline of local papers and that it could be fueling the rise of fake news. Steph is having a little look at why.
Yeah, it's not a surprise, is it, to people about the local newspaper sector's had a tough time over the last few years as more of us get our news online. So last week, the Culture Secretary, Matt Hancock, decided to launch a review into whether this is fueling fake news online. Because if you look at how many papers have actually closed since 2005, it's 200 local newspapers that have shut down. So the argument is, given that they're not there doing local journalism, what's filling in the gaps? So I went to find out a bit more about it at the Coventry Evening Telegraph. Have a look at this.
By 3:30, nearly 100,000 copies of the paper have been printed.
For over 100 years, the Coventry Evening Telegraph has been a trusted source of news in this city. And only once in that time have its presses stopped rolling, when it was hit by the Blitz in 1940. At its peak, it had 600 staff and sold 130,000 copies every day. But things are different now. In the last 12 years, about 200 local papers have closed, and the reason is simple. They're not making as much money from advertising. So back in 2007, about £3 billion was coming into local papers from ads. By last year, that was under 700 million. The thing is, advertisers are still spending, it's just going elsewhere.
A lot of that money is going online, but it's not going online to online newspapers. It's generally going to big classified specialist sites like Rightmove or AutoTrader. It's also going to Google search, and in the last couple of years, it's been going to Facebook big time.
So this is one of the old presses. It was state-of-the-art when it was installed.
The editor of the Coventry Telegraph says although newspaper sales were down by a fifth last year, more people than ever are reading the work of its reporters. We can see how the presses were used in the past. Obviously, all this kit's redundant now, but the paper certainly isn't, is it? There's so much innovation going on.
No. So we still publish 3 editions a day, 6 days a week. But also our website is absolutely thriving. We reach a bigger audience now across print and digital than we have done in decades. The nostalgia's great, but the world's changed, we've changed with it. My reporters are as adept at doing a Facebook Live as they are at writing 400 words of copy.
This paper has moved on, but does it matter if others close? Well, the government is worried the decline of local newspapers could be fueling the rise of fake news and has launched a review of the industry. A recent study by King's College London found people in areas with no local daily paper were less engaged in local elections and had less trust in local institutions. So how do the people of Coventry get their local news? Do you ever buy a local newspaper?
No, because it's really easier to access everything that is going on and, cross-checking everything at the same time via my phone.
We have the local telegraph delivered every day.
If we need to find anything, it's Google. Coventry Telegraph comes straight on the app and it's news rather than having to look at all the adverts.
People still want local news, but with the papers facing a fierce battle for our attention online, can they find the audience and the advertisers they need to make it pay? Well, if they can't, there's a chance we'll all be poorer for it. Love seeing the old pictures.
Yeah.
They're fab, aren't they? But
Yes.
what's interesting is the fact that they don't make as much money from the online advertising as they do from what they print in papers. But if you look at the numbers now, they're really growing the online side of things. Obviously, we gave you the stats there in the Coventry Evening Telegraph. To give you a few more, the Birmingham Mail, there's 20,000 that they physically sell, but 400,000 look at their website every day. The Manchester Evening News, it's huge. They sell around 40,000 of them a day, but actually over 1 million people are visiting their website every day. Liverpool Echo, over 40,000 buy the paper, like the MEN, and nearly 700,000 people are looking online. So there is that growth on the online side of things, and that's what the Culture Secretary wants to really get into is that enough to make sure that we don't have the fake news out there?
Yeah, it's really interesting, isn't it? Because local news is so important.
Yeah, people want it,
isn't it? Because it's what happens, in the car park next or whatever. It's really, really important, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, definitely.
And for the many people who want to be journalists, it's
Absolutely,
great. It's great with learning your trade as well, isn't it?
I started a local radio, and I expect you probably did too.
Look where you are now.
Well, I didn't want to say. That was not why I was saying it. I'm just really passionate about it. Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
It's 8 minutes to